This program contains true stories of rescues. All of the 911 calls you will hear are real. Whenever possible, the actual people involved have helped us reconstruct the events as they happened.
Use the police department. Can do it now.
They're very good hands here.
In an emergency, you may have to try to save the life of someone you love. I'm William Shatner. Tonight, true stories of men, women, and children with the courage and willingness to get involved on Rescue 911. We begin in Palm Desert, California, almost 3 years to the day after David Crescent sustained a severe head injury in a near-fatal car crash.
Kimberly has picked up David's handicap very well. She's like his second mind, and she never turns that off. They have this special relationship that...
When before, it's just pure
she's
fright.
her dad's shadow when I'm not here.
Watch your step.
One of the sheriff's deputies showed me a picture.
I usually tell him
and
when
asked me
he's
if it was
cold,
her.
so I tell him
And it was.
if we're lost, I tell him how to get home.
On the afternoon of October 17th, 1990, David had picked up his 5-year-old daughter, Kimberly, from the bus stop and was looking after her.
My dad, he was washing the dishes, and I was cuddling. Daddy, can I have a drink of water? Daddy? Can I have some water? Daddy, what's wrong? When I saw my daddy, I was real scared, so I called 911.
The call came in to Riverside County Dispatcher Dan Clyde.
Emergency.
My dad just fell down on the tile.
What?
My dad just fell down on the tile.
Your dad fell down?
Yeah, on the tile.
Is he hurt?
I don't know.
Okay, can your daddy talk to you?
No.
He can't? Did he ask you to call for help?
No.
I recognized immediately it was a young child, and I could hear the emotion in it. She was on the verge of tears. I felt right away that this was a serious call.
Okay, are you all by yourself?
Yes.
What's your name?
Kimberly Grayson.
Kimberly?
Uh-huh.
Okay, Kimberly, we're going to send you help right away, okay?
Uh-huh.
Now, I want you to stay on the phone with me, all right?
Uh-huh.
All right. How old are you, Kimberly?
5.
You're 5?
I got a babysitter. She just lives around the corner.
But the babysitter's not with you?
No.
She's only 5 years old. She was alone. I guess her whole world had crashed down on her right then, and there was nobody to turn to except the telephone.
When we continue,
It was one of those unique calls that tells you that you may not be able to save this patient.
She's just sleeping there.
At JCPenney, we've changed the way we look at details.
The way a pattern's cut.
A pleat is pressed.
A button sewn.
We're looking harder than ever.
And better than ever. We've changed our feel for fabrics. We've gotten softer.
Smoother.
Thicker.
Thinner.
Lighter.
And tighter. We've raised our standards and refined our selection.
We've added names you know and names you can count on.
We've shipped in Dockers
Hitched up with Hager.
and found the perfect fit with Hanes.
And though we've changed how we look at details, from accessories to zippers,
One thing remains the same.
our great values.
And great values are what make us
It had been less than 2 minutes since 911 dispatcher Dan Klein had received a call from a distraught 5-year-old Kimberly Crescent, reporting that her dad was hurt.
We had very little to go by. All we were able to get at that point of time from the little girl was that her father collapsed and she did not know what was wrong with him. It was one of those unique calls where you get this sixth sense that tells you that you may not be able to save this patient.
Well, we're sending you help. Is there any blood coming from your daddy's head?
No.
But he's not, but he's sleeping?
Yeah.
He's just sleeping there. Okay. Can you see your daddy right now?
Yeah.
And he's still laying there? Okay. Can you tell me, is he laying on his back?
Yes.
And he's looking up at the roof?
No, he's wiggling his head.
He's wiggling his head?
Uh-huh.
Are his eyes open?
Let me go see.
Okay.
The very first impression I had was that it was a heart attack, and my questions to Kimberly were directed at trying to establish the father's level of consciousness.
Yes.
His eyes are open?
Uh-huh.
Okay, I want you to tell him that the fire department is coming to help.
Oh, but he won't talk back. Bubbles are coming out of his mouth.
Something's coming out of his mouth?
No, bubbles are.
Bubbles are?
Uh-huh.
Her description gave me almost a photograph of what was taking place when she told me that his stomach was wiggling and that there were bubbles coming out of his mouth. That certainly isn't a sign of normal breathing. So I knew based upon that we had a serious problem at that point.
Can you just tell him in his ear, say, Daddy, the firemen are coming to help?
Uh-huh.
And he'll hear you, but he may not be able to talk.
All right.
Go tell him that.
All right. All right, I told him that.
Okay, real good. That's great. Now, can you tell if he's breathing? Can you...
Yes, stomach's wiggling.
That's good. We're happy about that. He must have just hurt his head really bad. Okay. Is there anybody else there with you now?
No.
I thought I could hear another voice. Nope. What's that, honey?
We got nobody else with me. No, everybody did. Also, except one of my friends and our dad.
Okay. Kimberly, do you have somebody that lives next door to you?
Yes.
Do you think it... Kimberly, come on, listen to me now. Listen to me. I'm going to help you, okay? Now, is there somebody living next door that you can go and tell?
Yes.
Why don't you do that? And then come back and talk to me on the phone.
All right.
Okay, run next door and get help.
All right, but what do I say to him?
Tell him your daddy is hurt.
All right.
And the fireman is on the phone, and he wants to talk to you, to somebody else.
All right.
And I'll stay on the phone.
I asked Kimberly to go outside because it gives her something to do. If Kimberly were hysterical and out of control, and if her father could sense that or could hear it, then that would perhaps affect his condition.
Fire department EMTs arrived on the scene within 5 minutes.
He's on the tile floor. He's bleeding. Is he gonna be okay?
Dispatcher Dan Klein had stayed on the line until he knew help was there.
Okay, well, you guys got it now. Later, maybe. I'll call you later then, maybe. Bye.
I have a 5-year-old, and the thoughts going through my mind at the time was that it would be the worst moment of their little life. And that's what I felt Kimberly was going through, perhaps the worst moment of her life.
The ambulance with paramedics John Nelson and Gad Smith arrived less than a minute later.
As soon as we got to the scene, we found our engineer informing us that they have a very critical patient lying on the floor. He was not breathing at the time, and he appeared to have been going through a severe seizure activity. Even for us as paramedics, it's a very traumatic experience to visualize. It's something that tells you you are dealing with a victim that is in dire need of immediate intervention.
Hi, what's your name? Kimberly, I want you to step back over here, okay? We try to find out where her mom worked. Perhaps the mother could give us some valuable medical information about this man's condition.
Kimberly told John how to reach her mother.
I always thought that I would never, ever forgive myself if anything happened to either one of them. So when he called me and I heard Kimberly crying in the background and he said that there had been an accident, I was really scared.
Barbara, listen, I need to know what medications your husband takes. She was actually really hysterical, but she relayed to us that he had a medical history of having an anomaly of the brain that was causing him to seize.
Once an individual starts having some kind of a bleeding or an aneurysm that might have ruptured in his brain, the clock is ticking. Time is against our side.
On the way home, I was really scared. The neurosurgeon had told me that if he ever hit his head hard, that he would not survive.
We gave him medication to try to stop the seizure, but he wasn't responding to it. And rapid transport was definitely in order, but we had a little girl to deal with, too. We couldn't leave the little girl at home. Kimberly, listen, I want you to come in here with me, okay? And I want you to sit in this chair.
Okay. Let's get him over.
Slide the board out
just a little bit, okay?
I ran in the house and we just kind of hugged each other, and Kimberly said, "Mommy, I don't want my daddy to die. I did the best I could."
We had problems maintaining his airway, and he wasn't responding to our drugs. He needed the drugs that a hospital could give. That's when we realized that, we got to get this guy hooking and booking. At this point, the dime has been circulating out approximately 1.5 minutes.
They wheeled David by me, and I just remember it was just a horrible flashback of walking into the hospital and seeing him the same way that I did 3 years ago. And I just remember looking at him thinking, I'm not going to live through this again. I can't.
When he arrived to the hospital, he was completely unresponsive, and it wasn't clear whether or not it was just a seizure or some other reason for which he was not responding.
I talked to the neurologist that night, and he explained to me that he had just suffered a grand mal seizure and that he was unconscious, but the vital signs were good.
David Cresson was placed on a new medication to control his seizures and was released from the hospital after 4 days.
Ready?
My relationship with Kimberly is a very special relationship. We take care of each other. And that phone call that she made saved my life that day. I have heard the tape of Dan Klein and my daughter, and I was so impressed. My eyes began to water, and tears rolled.
After the accident, Kimberly Cresson wrote a thank you note to dispatcher Dan Klein. 2 months later, she finally got to meet him and his family.
It's very rare to hear from anybody about an incident or a call that we've been involved in. So when Kimberly's mother, Barbara, called, I was very excited.
Hi! How are you?
She thanked me for my help with Kimberly on the phone, and that really hit me hard and made me feel very proud for what I was involved in.
Since I was not home when this incident happened, I just felt that need to thank somebody from the bottom of my heart.
You're welcome. That's my job.
Dan asked Kimberly how she knew who to call for help.
It was then that I learned that Kimberly had a telephone cutout that she made in preschool, and this phone was made to teach the children how to call 911. Could you tell me again what buttons you pushed? Okay.
When I brought it home, my mommy and I practiced and practiced and practiced because Daddy was coming home from the hospital, and I wanted to know whenever he was an emergency and my mom wasn't home, I could just call 911. Thanks for helping me and my daddy.
You're welcome. I was very happy to do that. I think it's very important for the general public to teach all their children how to use the 911 system. If every child knew how to do that, then I think our society would be a lot better off for it.
Tickle her under where I always tickle you. No, remember where do I always tickle you and you giggle? Yes, look at her.
I'm really happy that my daddy's alive because I think I saved him.
Next.
Decided I would go ahead and start the car and turn on the air conditioner so that she would be cool in the car.
Quote,
A Dodge Ram pickup with a Magnum Cummins diesel has the power to out-torque, out-pull, just flat-out work Ford and Chevy diesels. Unquote. Dodge, the most powerful line of trucks anywhere.
Get up to $2,000 cash back on select trucks during the Dodge Dare to Compare Challenge.
I wasn't due for another 2 weeks. Suddenly there I was, having a cesarean. David was wonderful. And when it was all over, I had this perfect little person. In a lot of pain. Later I was kind of surprised when the doctor gave me Tylenol. With all the other choices they have, but the Tylenol made me feel better. So I could put my mind on more important things.
Tylenol, the pain reliever hospitals use most.
Lean to the left.
Lean to the right.
Great taste.
Less fat.
In every bite.
Kibbles and Bits Lean. It's got all the great taste of Kibbles and Bits with a new slant.
What?
It's leaner. 30% leaner in fat than the leading dog food. So,
Lean to the left. Lean to the right. Great taste, less fat. In every bite.
Finally, a medical show that goes beyond the experience factor.
I got no pressure now. I got nothing.
The learning factor.
I'd like to present Chicago's finest proctologist.
Ouch. And the humor factor.
Trying to look sexy for your husband. Oh, I'm not married.
It's now time for the human factor.
He's given up.
Your husband, he's strong. He's got a lot of courage.
The series that cares premieres Thursday. The Human Factor.
I think it's the most important part of your medical education.
He grew up quickly in an ever-changing West.
There'll be other times.
From the writer of television's Lonesome Dove.
Who are you?
Comes a new saga. Ned Blessing, next.
There is a weapon in the war against AIDS. That weapon is information. The more you know, the safer you are. Find out the facts about AIDS.
For most of us, our worst fears live only in our imagination. But Denise Gullidge saw hers come true on the afternoon of June 21st, 1987, near her home in Lafayette, Louisiana.
Seems like it was yesterday. My husband was working, the kids and I were going shopping, and on the way, we stopped at a local gas station. When I pulled up to a pump closest to the entrance. I got out alone at first and left the kids in the car. I went in and just handed the attendant my credit card, told him I was going to fill up.
What you doing?
Dustin got out of the back seat, and when I started pumping the gas, he went to the driver's window and was playing with Missy and talking to her through the window. It was a very hot day, and I intended on leaving her in the car long enough to go in and sign the ticket. So I decided I would go ahead and start the car and turn on the air conditioner so that she would be cool in the car.
So, did you card me out? Sign with the X, please, ma'am.
I signed my name and turned around and my car was gone. It was gone. I felt like I'd just been hit by a truck. And it wasn't the car. It was the fact that my baby was in it.
Gas station attendant Don Stansfield immediately ran outside to see which way the stolen car was going.
We were less than a quarter of a mile south of an east-west interstate highway, which once on there, he could have gone just about any place.
911, what is your emergency?
At 4:16 p.m., a call came in reporting that Denise's 6-month-old baby Missy had been kidnapped. The information was immediately relayed to the Lafayette Police Department.
705 Northwest Frontage Road. Stolen vehicle is a 1987 Chevrolet Celebrity, 4-door maroon in color, bearing Louisiana license 1995400.
102 is direct in and route.
While waiting for the police to arrive, Denise called her husband, Austin.
The phone rang, I answered it, and it was Denise just screaming at the top of her lungs. And she told me that somebody had stolen her car and Missy was still in it. And I raced across town, and the whole time I'm driving, just what in the world is going on? It was about a 20-minute drive. I made it in about 8 minutes.
The police had arrived even before Austin, but the stolen car was long gone, leaving no clues as to who the kidnapper was or where he was headed.
We stayed there just a few minutes. I don't really recall exactly what took place, but I remember one of the officers telling me to come follow him to the police station. We'll go down there and y'all can wait down there.
At the police station, they were interviewed by Detective Robert Hemsell.
While I was talking to the parents, I was trying to more or less calm them down.
What's being done?
And all the time I'm thinking, okay, 20 minutes have passed. This man could be 20 miles away. At that particular time, it was really growing slim. From 30 minutes to an hour, if you don't find the child, your odds are very slim.
And I felt like he was getting away and they weren't going to find him in time. And I paced the floor in that little room, waiting and praying.
Detective Hemsell put out an all-points bulletin, complete with a description of baby Missy and the car, to every police department within 100 miles of the city.
At that particular time, that's all we could do. And it's just a waiting game from that point because we had done really and truly everything we could do in searching the area.
Less than a half hour later, Thelma and Sanders Wyatt were 15 miles outside Lafayette on their way to visit family.
We noticed a car had stopped on the side of the road.
Now, what's that man doing there?
So I told my husband, I said, it's a funny place to stop there for if he has trouble. So as we were getting closer, he went around and he got in the car and just rushed off. So when we passed where he had stopped, I saw some things scattered in the ditch.
I think I saw something. Santa, stop.
I said, stop and back up. I want to see. He didn't say anything, but it's like God wanted us to stop.
Okay, stop. There is something.
And I jumped out of the car and picked up the little baby. And then I said, I can't hold her anymore. I was so nervous and the baby was screaming. So there was a truck coming down the road. I said, flag them down and they're going to help us because I was afraid to stay there with the baby by myself. I was afraid that man would come back.
Local police and paramedics from St. Martin were sent to the scene. The baby girl was not injured. There was no way of knowing who she was, but they did notice she was wearing one corrective shoe. Aware of the all-points bulletin about a missing baby in Lafayette, rescue workers contacted the police there.
And while I was talking to the parents, I got a call to go to the communications room. Hey, Brenda, what do you got on the phone?
St. Martin Parish Sheriff's Office.
And they described the exact clothing that the mother had given me. And when I went in and told the mother, the descriptions matched. It was just like, she was hysterical again, but it was different. She was crying, but to me, she had like maybe tears of joy. It was happiness, when before it was just pure fright.
One of the sheriff's deputies showed me a picture and asked me if that was her. And it was. As soon as I walked through the front door, I heard her crying. And there was a nurse, and I immediately ran up to the nurse and just took her from her. And I remember hearing somebody behind me saying, "It's okay, she's the mama." I felt like I was never going to put her down. I just wanted to hold her.
It was just a total feeling of it's over and there's no more pain, nothing to worry about. She's okay, she's fine. I can't describe how it's almost as bad as the hopeless feeling to start with. Just a feeling of joy, I guess, that she's all right. Everything's gonna be all right.
No one was ever convicted of the kidnapping of baby Missy. 3 years have passed, but for the Gullidge family, the memories are still vivid.
I don't want anybody to feel what I felt that day. And it's not something that I've forgotten. I think about it every day. You never leave a child alone in a car. And it's gonna haunt me for the rest of my life. And I want to scare somebody so that it doesn't happen to them.
Missy and her family have grown close to Thelma and Sanders Wyatt.
I realized that if it weren't for the Wyatts, it would have been days, if not weeks, before she was found. And she would not have survived in that ditch.
I love her just like my grandchild. I feel just like, she was like mine. Like she was my grandchild, or even more, because I saved her life.
My mama, she said that every day she thanked God for nosy people. Because if she wouldn't have been nosy, we probably wouldn't have Missy here today.
Next.
Does he have any weapons? There's knives in the kitchen. Does he have it in his hand?
Thank you for a lovely dinner.
Aren't you going to ask me in? For coffee?
Well, I do have taster's choice.
Then how can I refuse?
Savor the sophisticated taste of Taster's Choice.
Well...
Just one more cup? You know I love your coffee.
Then, by all means, take it with you.
Mannington has invented a floor that breaks the shine barrier. Through all kinds of torture, Mannington Gold shines brighter and longer than even Armstrong's best floors. Mannington Gold, a shining example of what a floor should be.
Dear Thompson's, when the store ran out of Thompson's water seal, we finished our deck with another brand. What a mistake. The Thompson side beat it up, the other side, nothing. Even the clerk agreed, nothing works like Thompson's. Sincerely, Becky Jones, Charlotte, North Carolina.
Rescue 911 will continue.
Imagine you're engaged to a man accused of murder. He's got secrets to hide, but so do you. If you tell his, he'll expose yours. And now you've got to testify. What will you do?
Try me.
Tomorrow, Barbara takes the stand as the world turns.
The name of this class is the human factor. It's about the emotional part of the doctor-patient relationship.
I'm scared.
Human doctors.
Is one of my patients?
No, my father. Human patients.
His heart just stopped.
I think it's the most important part of your medical education.
The Human Factor premieres Thursday at 10.
This is CBS.
The little old lady from Pasadena. And everybody's saying that there's nobody meaner than the little old lady from Pasadena.
The Dodge Stealth RT Turbo. 300 horsepower, 0 to 60 in under 5 seconds.
The little old lady from Pasadena.
Choose from 4 Stealth models, 1 starting under $18,300.
The little old lady from Pasadena.
When I listen to Harvey, it puts me in a good mood.
Harvey in the morning, continuous soft rock all day. WMGK Magic 103.
Has advertising gone too far?
This is outrageous.
What's really for sale here?
They're selling sex.
A special report tonight on Channel 10 News.
Why this AIDS activist is taking the state of Florida to court over these two girls, the HIV orphans, on the next Maury.
Weekdays at 4 on Channel 10.
It's sibling rivalry on the next Golden Girls.
Violence within the family is perhaps the most difficult and painful kind to deal with. One family made that discovery on the evening of September 23rd, 1990 in Austin, Texas. This story is not a recreation. It's the result of a ride-along with the Victim Services Division of the Austin Police Department.
Austin, Travis County, 911. Oh, yes, ma'am. I believe the warfare back. Okay, what's going on? My dad's trying to hit my mom. Does he have any weapons? There's knives in the kitchen. Does he have it in his hand? No, he don't, but he hit her. Okay.
The caller is a 15-year-old boy, Danny, reporting that he had just called his mother from a friend's house and heard his dad threaten his mom.
I was just scared that he would do something to my mom real bad. You know, he thinks crazy and he just loses his temper, you know. He's hit her and stuff in front of me, and I just try to stop it when I can.
Okay, we'll send someone over there. Okay, we're going to get somebody over there, okay? Okay, thank you.
Crisis 14. 736, calling a family disturbance, 29.
Chris Banbury, a victim services counselor, is called to the scene.
Frank Road, 10-4. Crisis 14 to Crisis 3.
By the time Chris arrives, police have already arrested the suspect and taken him away.
Find out exactly what did happen. Apparently, father opens the door and for the police, and he says nothing's going on.
Lupita Lujan was the first counselor on the scene.
All of a sudden, they hear all this screaming, so they have to kick the door in to get in. So that's why the door's all busted. I was anxious in that this is a high-risk situation, and I need to do the best job that I can do to assist this woman because she was scared that, you know, he might kill her, he might kill the children.
He told me to come in this room, and I did, and he closed the door on me and told me, haven't I, you know, what's, you know, something that I've always told you that I don't want you to do. And said,
Yolanda and her husband had been married for 14 years.
I said, well, I don't know. And he said, well, that you don't never be with another guy and this and that. And when he showed me that picture, I thought, oh, I'm dead, you know. And
has he threatened you in the past?
Oh yeah, plenty of times. He's beat me up so bad he sent me to the hospital.
He sent you to the hospital before?
And he's helped me with knives.
A lot of times when men feel that the woman is going to leave them, they start getting desperate. They start taking more desperate actions. The man finally realizes, well, I can't have her, so nobody else is, so I'll just go ahead and kill her. And I felt like this is one of those situations.
He told me, you know what would have happened to you if this would have been 5 years ago? He says, you'd be with stab wounds all over your body.
Hi, Guy. You wanna come sit here with me?
Yolanda's 3 younger children and a nephew had been in the house at the time of the incident.
Hi. Are you BJ?
Yeah.
How you doing?
Okay.
You okay?
My first immediate thought is, what kind of state are we going to find these children in? What are we going to do with the kids? How old are they? What did they see? How are we going to work with them to deal with what's just happened?
You're a smart fella. You were where?
She was right here, and he was dragging her out this way, kind of like towards the kitchen. He was right here after he closed the door. And she was right there, and she was screaming, open the door. He went for the door. I touched the knob, kicked. I went back, came like this. I stepped up here. They grabbed him and hit him with the flashlight. She ran out. I ran out.
We don't want to go in and say Dad's a bad person because the kids are in a real weird place. This is Mom, this is Dad, and they love them both.
But usually when you get upset, it hurts a little bit. What do? Just kind of lay down and rest for a while?
I was laying down. My dad laid down with me yesterday.
It's okay. He's going to do that again. Okay? It doesn't mean that he's not going to come back. All right? That's not what this means. Your dad's going to be there for you. He just had a bad day. Okay? It's all right. It's okay.
Oh, my daddy.
You're going to have your daddy back, okay?
Her major concern is Dad's not going to be here. On the other hand, she was talking about how she needed to be there to protect her mother. You got a child that's saying, what am I supposed to do? Who am I supposed to believe? Dad is saying, go get me some water, honey. And Mom is saying, don't leave, he's going to hit me. That's putting a tremendous burden on these children, tremendous.
But you stop worrying about it. He's not going to be in jail for a long time. He's not going to be there just 20 years or 99 years, okay? And this way he can get some help for what's going on. And then maybe the whole family can go in and talk to somebody about what's happening so that it can stop. And you don't have to go through any more days like this. You don't need that.
If you want to get away from him and not live like this anymore, that's what I'd like to tell women that the abuse is not their fault. They don't deserve to be hit, and that there are people out there who will help them. So that you don't have to live like this, okay? You know, as things happen, you know, we'll find out, okay, is he out of jail? Is he staying in jail? And we'll just go from day to day to day if we have to. But we'll keep you safe.
Well, I appreciate it because, like I said before, I really didn't have nobody.
And I'm so sorry. I mean, that happens to a lot of people. But you have us now, and we'll stick with you.
We're there. Come on, you wear these tights. Come on. Come on, dude. Man.
Y'all getting your stuff together? Each time I go in, you know, I'm hoping, you know, that the person will take that step to move on so that I don't have to go back again and see her beat up or see her in the hospital.
Yeah, you're a good boy, too.
It's their step. It's not mine. I can help. But they're the ones who have to go through it. They're the ones in the situation. They're the ones who have to make the decision.
I'll go ahead and just write it for now.
While Yolanda and her children are packing up to go stay with a friend, a call comes in from the jail.
It is your husband, and Jessica's crying and talking to him, so you might want to go in there. I think he's asking.
You don't have to talk to him.
Yeah, I will, but I ain't got nothing.
Daddy.
Don't let him know where you're going either.
Yeah, I won't. Make sure she doesn't tell him.
He's going to either say, I'm sorry, I didn't mean it, you made me angry, and it won't happen again, come get me out of jail.
I'm sorry.
Or he's going to say, I can't believe you did this, just wait till I get home, and you're going to really pay for this.
I'm not going to pick you up, no. Well, you think. You think while you're in there. You're the one that's got to think. I'll talk to you later. Bye. Bye.
I was very, very concerned because she didn't hang up the phone, but she would continue to hang on to listening to what he had to say. That always gives room for him to talk his way back in.
They're already in bed. Yeah. I'm going to hang up. Bye. Yeah, bye. Bye. Oh, he wants me to think it over.
I've been through this before, and it's all a game. And it's time that you decide to do something for yourself.
Yeah.
I've been up this day. Okay, everybody in the car.
She was saying, it's not going to work. I realize this now.
I'm gonna get in front. Oh, you do?
I know the finality of picking up something and putting it into a bag and leaving and thinking, is this the end of the relationship?
Here's two.
I
tell you what. That looks like Jonathan or whatever his name is.
You're welcome.
Call tomorrow, please. Do that, okay?
Okay, use it in the morning when I take it.
All right. We'll see you. Probably see you tomorrow night. Bye-bye.
For her to be able to walk out, get her things, get in the car and drive off, that's why I said, okay, at least we've got a chance. She has a chance. Sometimes my job is very sad. It's very traumatic. But I like what I do because I feel like I'm helping somebody.
The next day, Yolanda comes down to police headquarters to file a formal complaint.
You're taking a real big step, and that's real important. And I know that it's a scary thing to do, but it is the right thing to do, because you don't deserve to have this happening. Your kids don't deserve it. You don't have to live like this. I know you've been through a lot of hurt and a lot of pain, and you have a right to cry. And you're going to need to heal.
Hi, Mama. Hi, Mama. Hi, Mama.
Your mama's sad. You know, people cry when they're sad. It's okay to cry. When you're sad, do you cry? It's okay to cry, isn't it? Sometimes your mama needs to do that.
Hey, Mama.
But she's gonna be okay.
Two days after the incident, Yolanda goes to court.
Do you solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give in the cause now pending before this court shall be the truth, the whole truth?
Yolanda has applied for a protective order, and that court orders the abuser away from her. But a protective order is a piece of paper that's not going to keep him from busting in the door. She's going to have to be looking over her shoulder some.
Ms. Hernandez, have you been a victim of family violence? And are you afraid of future family violence? Would you tell the court the date of the last incident of violence?
We still need to educate. We need to let people know violence does not have to be a part of their life, verbal, emotional, or physical.
Having heard the evidence, temporary ex parte protective order will be granted.
Thank you.
It went on for 14 years. He would beat me up, and every time he beat me up, it would be worse and worse. But I didn't have nobody. I was just being as brave as I could and just doing it on my own.
6 months later, Yolanda is separated from her husband and lives in an apartment with her children. Her husband was ordered by the court to receive counseling and to perform community service. Yolanda has taken the first steps in building a new life and putting an end to the cycle of violence.
I feel good because it's the best thing that I can do for me and my kids.
I wouldn't want my mother and daddy get separated, but I do prefer her to leave than to, have fear. My little brother and sister, it hurts me to see them go, and going through this.
They want their father, and I don't intend to take him away from them, but I do want him out of my life.
I feel grateful for myself that I did it. I was scared to do it because of what happened to my father. I didn't know what was going to happen. But then on the other hand, I was scared of what my father would do to my mom, So I feel that I think I made a pretty good choice with dialing 911.
You just got to say, I can do it.
Next.
She wasn't reacting, and it was the scariest moment of my life. Like, please come back.
Anybody call 911?
When you get the new car?
What car? You know what car? No, what car? Did you just get a raise? Would need a raise to buy that car.
What car?
The Toyota Tercel, starting at $71.98, it's the lowest priced two-door sedan you can buy.
What do you want? What makes you think I want something? You're my brother.
Could I borrow the car?
Tom? Not funny, Tom.
Tercel, today's answer to life's little hang-ups.
They say this detergent with bleach alternative gets socks really white, but I wondered how it compared to my Clorox bleach. So I got some dirty socks. I washed this one in detergent with bleach alternative, and this one in Clorox bleach and my regular detergent. And look, the sock washed in Clorox bleach is cleaner. Why am I not surprised? Clorox liquid bleach. Still no better way to get clothes clean.
If you have an itch for a free Disney World vacation, scratch catch it. Play the hidden surprise game at Burger King and win a vacation for 4 on Delta, the official airline of Walt Disney World, to Disney's 20th anniversary celebration. There's a grand prize of $100,000 and 200 vacations in all. Over 100 million instant prizes, including free food and cash. Every card can be a winner. The Burger King Hidden Surprise Game.
You win prizes, Burger King now.
Finally, a medical show that goes beyond the experience factor.
I got no pressure now. I got nothing.
A learning factor.
I'd like to present Chicago's finest proctologist. Ouch.
And the humor factor.
Trying to look sexy for your husband. Oh, I'm not married.
It's now time for the human factor.
He's given up.
Your husband, he's strong. He's got a lot of courage.
The series that cares premieres Thursday. The Human Factor.
I think it's the most important part of your medical education.
He was desperate to learn the truth about his past. His mother wanted to stop him. They'll face the family secret on 48 Hours Wednesday.
A treacherous mountain manhunt for a wife killer.
He had killed once. There was a good chance he would kill again.
Uncut. Then, can you afford to get sick?
This is where our money goes, is right here.
For some people, getting better means their money or their life. The high cost of staying alive. On Ed Bradley's Street Stories, following Top Cops Thursday.
Saturday, it's an extra special evening of animated fun. Yahoo! With Daffy Duck's Easter egg excitement, followed by an all-new Claymation Easter, Saturday.
Call it chance, call it fate. Nobody really knows what brings people together in a certain place at a certain time. On February 14th, 1990, the lives of 3 strangers converged at a busy intersection in downtown Los Angeles.
My mother and my little sister were with me that day, and there was too much traffic, so I wanted to get out to get home through the streets. I normally wear my seatbelt. I just took it off that day for some reason or another, and I didn't want to wear it. My mother was wearing her seatbelt, though, and my little sister knows she has to wear her seatbelt because I always make her.
A few cars behind Stephanie Araujo was businessman Ray Aboud.
I was on the freeway going to Hollywood, but the traffic was really packed, so I had to get off the freeway on First Street, and I hardly really do that. I never get off the freeway, but I don't think it's a coincidence, because why it happened and how, when, it's amazing. It's something that's not really just comes out of nowhere. It happened for a reason. There was about a couple of cars in front of me just before the Civic Center, and all of a sudden I saw a car swerve on the lane on the oncoming traffic. He just went straight in the lane. He couldn't control his car.
I'm gonna be my baby.
When I saw the impact, I just said, oh God, this is really bad. There's something must be done. These people need help. There's nobody had came out of the car, and I just like, I wanted to help.
Stephanie's mother, Socorro, was still conscious.
este señor. I saw this man with long hair and an all-black outfit, and I thought he was a policeman. He looked inside the window, and he asked us if we were all okay.
And then I heard the mother talking to herself. I thought that she was hallucinating, like talking to somebody else. She said, well, there's a girl in the back, my baby in the back. I said, I ran to the mother's side, and I looked, and she was on the bottom, on the floor. And I said, oh, God. She wasn't moving, she wasn't breathing. I really thought that she was dead. So I had to get her out.
Because 8-year-old Belinda was not breathing at all, Ray risked moving her to where he could give her first aid.
The baby had no pulse, and I carried the baby really, really carefully. And I just like, right away, I started giving her that CPR, and I was asking God to help me.
A passerby called 911. Police and paramedics were immediately dispatched.
I knew that the help is going to come. Any minute it's going to be there. But she wasn't reacting, and it was the scariest moment of my life. Like, please come back. please, God, help her back. It was a scary moment I would never forget. Never. After a while, she coughed out about 3 times, so I felt relief. I couldn't believe that a guy could hit somebody in a car accident and then try to split the scene to leave somewhere else where he can't pay for his mistakes. And he thought that he was going to go, and I got really angry. You're going nowhere. I brought him back to the scene, and I told him to sit down. I didn't treat him nice because I had a lot of anger inside of me after I knew that he was drunk and he could like destroy a family in 1 single second.
I held on to Stephanie's head because she kept wanting to fall forward towards the dashboard, and she was bleeding so much I didn't want her to get hurt again. Then I saw him start kicking the cars and trying to get them out of the way and telling them that the ambulances needed room for them to get in. And I saw him just running around trying to take care of traffic. There were 50 people standing on the sidewalks and no one was doing anything to him.
Leave! Move!
8 minutes after the accident, the first paramedics arrived on the scene.
Please, as best as you can. Go on, as best you can, please. This way over here. There's another door down here. Yeah.
As far as Ray, he had his hands full. It was a pretty bad accident, but when he approached me, he was very calm, collect, especially for doing 3 things at the same time, just about at the same time.
19-year-old Stephanie was still unconscious behind the wheel of her car. While paramedics treated Stephanie and Belinda, police officers began investigating the accident, including motor officer Stanley Morishima.
You don't find too many citizens nowadays getting involved, so I think he did a fantastic job, and it really made our jobs a lot easier, and I just wish there were more people like him around.
The driver of the other car pleaded guilty to felony drunk driving. Stephanie suffered a serious concussion and facial lacerations when her head hit the windshield. 8-year-old Belinda left the scene in a coma. Neither had been wearing their seatbelts.
I wanted to see the baby, stay next to the baby, make sure that she's going to be all right all night, but they let me do that.
Stephanie spent a week in the hospital. Her little sister Belinda underwent emergency brain surgery. But after 2 weeks in the hospital, under the care of Dr. Jeff Oppenheimer, she is making a full recovery.
There is a danger in moving an injured victim, but Ray was astute enough to triage exactly which problem was the worst. In Belinda's case, she was unconscious in a moderate coma, so I think there's a high likelihood that Belinda would not be here right now if Ray had not intervened. Anyone who can save a life without any other motivation except for saving that life is a hero.
It's just like he's our guardian angel or something, because nowadays a lot of people, will see an accident and they'll just keep walking by. They won't even help. But he did more than his share of helping.
Oh, he's a very good man. I don't know, I can't tell. But no le puedo pagar con nada lo que hizo.
He says, I could never repay him for what he's done for me.
He's a nice man, 'cause if he wouldn't have done the mouth-to-mouth, I could have, died. That's what the doctor said.
We're very fortunate that we didn't lose anybody. But drunk drivers, they should understand, if they lost somebody to another drunk driver, maybe they would understand the hurt and pain that a family has to go through just because someone wanted to have another drink. Maybe they should think twice, and I hope some people do.
Since the accident, Ray has become close friends with their Rajo family.
I don't really consider myself a hero. After the accident happened, I kept asking myself why I did that. But I know the reason is really big, that God wanted me to be there at that time to save that little child, that she needed help. She ain't gonna be away from my life now. She's gonna be part of my life because she's always will. Ray, give me 5.
Step out of the car, please.